What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Philo. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on your post notifications bell because you don't want to miss any of my videos. I'm sorry that I've been late with my Wrestlemania review content, but I hope you guys enjoyed my reactions to John Cena winning his 17th World Championship. I'm going to talk about that in my Night 2 review, but all good things to say about the win, not the match, but the win. Let's go back. Before we talk about Night 2, let's go back and talk about Night 1, ladies and gentlemen. Night 1 of WrestleMania. There are some great spots, and then there are some really, really bad matches that went down. So without further ado, let's get into WrestleMania 41, Night 1 of my review. So first off, that stage was incredible. Las Vegas, I'm gonna be honest, at first I did not think it was going to be a great venue for WrestleMania, being the grandest stage of them all, being the most important premium live event of WWE of the whole year. But Las Vegas, I gotta say, Las Vegas brought it. Not like the other venues, not like the European tour, but Las Vegas was a pretty good crowd. And the first match up we had for the World Heavyweight Championship, as Gunther defended his World Heavyweight Championship against Jey Uso. Now, the build wasn't that great. The build, they made it better. Jimmy Uso made it much better. First of all, Gunther killed Jimmy Uso off script, off TV, and that whole zip tying Jey Uso to the ropes while murdering his twin brother Jimmy Uso, that saved the whole build to WrestleMania. And Jey Uso being serious right after that promo with Jimmy Uso being killed, that saved the whole promo. And that match at WrestleMania, I'll be honest here, it's the much better match between Gunther and Jey Uso. Much better than Saturday night's main event. Much better than Monday Night Raw. Much better than any matches they had ever before. And that few minutes, that last 5 minutes of the match, Jey Uso with the trifecta Uso splashes into a clutch of his own to tap out Gunther, and Jey Uso hit a splash of his own, powerbomb, Gunther's own finisher on Gunther. That was incredible. And Jey Uso made Gunther tap out. Perfect ending to this feud. And what happened on Monday Night Raw, the celebration between him, Jimmy Uso, and Sami Zayn. I'll talk more about this on my Monday Night Raw review. I told you I'm very late. But Jey Uso finishing his story, finally beating Gunther, and becoming our new World Heavyweight Champion. I give this a grade A. Next match, we had a very lazy match. We had the World Tag Team Championships up for grabs, as the World Tag Team Champions, the War Raiders, defend their championships against Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the New Day. And honestly, this match was pretty lazy, and it wasn't a bad match. But all I'm saying is that triple threat TLC match for the Tag Team Championships would have been much better to be on WrestleMania than this match. This match was not that bad, but it wasn't a WrestleMania-worthy match. All I can say is you gotta feel for War Raiders losing at WrestleMania. You definitely gotta feel for the War Raiders. But, I mean, at least the titles are on the New Day now. If I gotta say something, I mean, The only thing that could have saved this match, or maybe had a little more interest in it, is if Big E came out and maybe cost the New Day. But for what we got, it was a thumbs down for me. Definitely a thumbs down. Next up, we had a banger of a match. And I'm glad this isn't over. Naomi taking on Jade Cargill in the first ever women's match with no championship on the line. Just two women that want to kill each other in Naomi and Jade Cargill. And this match was incredible. That Jaden at the end, that power bomb by Jade Cargill, incredible. I'm gonna be honest, I would have loved to see Naomi win, but I am glad that this feud isn't over between them. And that entrance, that new theme song with Naomi is incredible. And I'm glad that Jade Cargill won here. She's 2-0 at WrestleMania, and that match was actually pretty incredible. Both women showed up and showed out, and I cannot wait for another match with these two. Jade Cargill walks out with the win. Next match we had for the United States Championship, I'm pretty sure, as the United States Champion, LA Knight, defending against Jacob Fatu. And two things speak out to me here. One, that reversal moonsault into the BFT, incredible. Oh man, if Jacob Fatu wasn't near the ropes to grab it, the LA Knight would have walked out as still your United States Champion. I'm telling you, if Jacob Fatu wasn't near the ropes, then LA Knight would have walked out still United States Champion. And Jacob Fatu literally murdering LA Knight with like 2, 3, maybe, no, it was 3 moonsaults, maybe even 2. It was just incredible. Jacob Fatu is your new United States Champion, and I'm very happy about it. The match was pretty incredible, and I'm excited for Jacob Fatu. And this is just the start for the Samoan Werewolf. This is just the start. I really, really wish that WWE can move LA Knight to the main event, the World Championship. Like a match between him and John Cena would be incredible. Heel Cena versus face LA Knight, that would be incredible. But as we saw on SmackDown, LA Knight still being around the mid-card, being around his championship, being the United States Championship. I mean, if LA Knight wins another U.S. Championship, then I won't be mad, but I feel like it's time to move LA Knight to the main event, against, like, John Cena, against, like, maybe even Jey Uso. Would be great for him, and I feel like he's ready. I feel like he's more than ready, actually. Next match, we were supposed to have El Grande Americano taking on Rey Mysterio for the Battle of the Mask. This is Sacred Mask. I still feel like this match should have been a mask versus mask. But first off, Rey Mysterio couldn't compete. He was injured. He couldn't compete in his, what was it, like 20th WrestleMania? I can't remember. Maybe even more. I know Randy Orton, this was his 20th WrestleMania. And I'll talk about Randy Orton's match in the Night 2 review. But what we got, instead of El Grande versus Rey Mysterio, we got El Grande Americano in an incredible entrance, by the way, against Rey Fénix. Out of anyone, Rey Fénix just came to the WWE, and he literally, just like that, got a WrestleMania entrance and got a WrestleMania match. This is incredible for Rey Fénix. Incredible for Rey Fénix getting a WrestleMania, getting a WrestleMania match, let alone getting a WrestleMania entrance, let alone a whole match against El Grande Americano. And honestly, for a second there, I thought that Rey Fénix was gonna win, but of course El Grande Americano had to cheat with that metal plate, stuffed in his mask, in his eye, near his eye. I really hope Rey Fenix is okay. He literally did his finisher, and I'm still trying to learn his finishing maneuvers and stuff, but he did his finisher, and he kicked the metal plate in El Grande Americano's eye. And then that headbutt looked pretty nasty. But in the end, that's how El Grande Americano picked up the win. And honestly, guys, El Grande Americano is undefeated at WrestleMania. This is great. But, I mean, it was a pretty good match. Came inside the house for the last two matches. The next match, we had the Women's Championship match as WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton defended her championship against 2025 Women's Royal Rumble winner Charlotte Flair. And I am actually very, very happy with the results here, because if you guys remember what I said in the predictions video, Charlotte Flair and WrestleMania, they go together. She's a Flair. She was definitely going to win the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. And after what she said about beating John Cena's 17th world record, if he would win the if he would beat her dad's record, I definitely thought that Charlotte Flair was going to win here. But wow, what a messy and what a disgusting match this was. Disgusting as in physical, brutal, everything in between. This match, although it started slow, they started picking it up in the middle, and in the end, what an incredible match this was. This was just brutal from like the middle to the end. That natural selection from the middle rope busted up Tiffany Stratton hitting Charlotte Flair with her best. Charlotte trying to go for the figure four. If she did go for that figure four, Charlotte would have won, definitely. But Tiffany Stratton hitting Charlotte Flair with the prettiest moonsault ever. And beating Charlotte Flair clean in the middle of the ring at the grandest stage of them all. That was just incredible, and I cannot believe that Tiffany Stratton is still our Women's World Champion. This is incredible, and I'm very happy that I'm wrong on that. That entrance, by the way, suited Tiffany Stratton 100%. Incredible entrance for Tiffany Stratton. Charlotte Flair also showing up in a Rolls Royce, I believe. Incredible entrances and an incredible match between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. The match was incredible. The build wasn't that great, but the match was incredible. And Tiffany Stratton walks out of WrestleMania 41, still our women's champion. Still unbelievable to say, but I am very happy about it. And the main event of WrestleMania 41, Night 1, the voice of the voiceless, CM Punk, coming out with his best friend, Paul Heyman, the visionary, the revolutionary, Seth Rollins, and the tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. And what an incredible main event this was. This was incredible. This is the best triple threat match I've ever seen. Might even be my favorite main event at WrestleMania in like the last decade. All of them gave it all they had. Some spears. We had some GTSs. Seth Rollins gave some stomps. But the ending is what I really want to talk about. Paul Heyman, when it came down to Paul Heyman grabbing a chair, Seth Rollins down on one side of the ring, and the other side of the ring is where we have Punk down and Roman Reigns down. Paul Heyman grabs a chair, is hesitant of who to give it to, and gives it to Punk, comes into the ring, this is where we're all confused about Paul Heyman coming in the ring. He gives the chair to Punk, tries to come in the ring, or comes in the ring, stands by Punk, and then low blows Punk, turning on his best friend. We all thought, well, I think we were all thinking, we all thought that it's not for Roman Reigns, it's not for CM Punk, but Paul Heyman, we all thought that he's returning to his tribal chief, his head of the table. The wise man is returning to his tribal chief. Well, no. He presents the chair to his tribal chief and presents Seth Rollins to his tribal chief. But, when we all thought that Roman was going to win and turn or hit Rollins with the chair, he low blows his tribal chief and turns on his tribal chief. And walks out of WrestleMania 41 with the visionary, the revolutionary Seth Rollins. As Rollins stomps Roman Reigns and walks out of his third WrestleMania main event as the victor, and walks out of WrestleMania 41 main event with CM Punk's best friend and Roman Reigns' wise man. What an incredible main event. If I would remember anything from WrestleMania 41 night one, it would be this WrestleMania main event. The triple threat match between Punk, Rollins, and Roman Reigns. And I'm so glad that this storyline isn't even over. And with the addition of Braun Breaker, I'll talk about this more in my Monday Night Raw review. But the addition with Braun Breaker, with Rollins and Paul Heyman, that's just incredible. And I cannot wait to see where things go from here. Maybe a Punk Braun Breaker versus, a Rollins and Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns and CM Punk at Backlash. That would be an incredible tag team match. But this main event was incredible. WrestleMania 41 night 1 was not that bad. But night 2 was better. And I'll talk about night 2 in my next video. But until then, peace.